Have you ever noticed how certain people just seem to vanish from your life without explanation? One day they're there, calling constantly, demanding your time and energy, and the next day, silence. You didn't block them. You didn't have a fight. They simply faded away like morning mist. And while your heart might ache with questions, wondering what you did wrong, I want to share something profound with you today. What if their departure wasn't rejection but divine protection? What if God Himself was orchestrating their exit to shield you from harm you couldn't even see coming? The truth is, God loves you too much to let toxic people poison your destiny. He sees what you cannot see. He knows what you do not know. And sometimes, His greatest act of mercy is not giving you what you think you want, but removing what you don't realize is destroying you. Today, we're going to uncover 8 subtle signals that reveal how God removes toxic people from your path. And by the end of this message, you'll understand that every unexplained goodbye was actually a divine hello to your breakthrough. Signal number 1, God creates divine friction. When God is ready to remove someone toxic from your life, He doesn't always do it dramatically. Often, He begins with friction. Suddenly, conversations that once flowed easily become strained. Plans that used to align now clash constantly. What seemed natural begins to feel forced. This isn't coincidence. It's divine intervention. God is creating an atmosphere where the toxic person becomes uncomfortable with your presence. They start to feel convicted by your peace, threatened by your growth, or irritated by your boundaries. The very light that God is cultivating in you begins to expose the darkness they carry. And darkness cannot coexist with light for long. They may not understand why they suddenly feel agitated around you, but their spirit is recognizing that your season together is ending. Signal number 2, their true nature gets exposed. Have you ever watched someone's mask slip at just the right moment? When God is removing toxic people, He allows their true character to be revealed. The person who once seemed so caring suddenly shows their selfishness. The one who appeared supportive reveals their jealousy. The friend who claimed loyalty demonstrates their betrayal. This exposure isn't meant to hurt you. It's meant to heal you. God is pulling back the curtain so you can see what was always there but hidden. He's giving you clarity so you won't be tempted to chase after what was never genuine. Sometimes the kindest thing God can do is show you someone's heart before they break yours completely. Signal number 3, your spiritual sensitivity increases around them. When someone toxic is being removed from your life, you'll notice your spirit becomes more alert in their presence. That peaceful feeling you once had around them transforms into uneasiness. Your prayers feel heavier after spending time with them. Your joy seems to drain faster when they're near. This isn't paranoia. It's spiritual discernment awakening. God is fine-tuning your ability to recognize what doesn't belong in your life. He's teaching you to trust the witness of His Spirit over the words people speak or the masks they wear. Your increased sensitivity is like a spiritual alarm system, warning you that this person's season in your life is coming to an end. Signal number 4, opportunities for distance naturally arise. Watch how God creates space between you and toxic people without you having to orchestrate it. Suddenly, their schedule conflicts with yours constantly. Job changes separate you geographically. Life circumstances pull you in different directions. What looks like bad timing is actually perfect timing orchestrated by divine wisdom. God doesn't force you to cut people off dramatically. Instead, He creates natural seasons of separation that allow you to gain perspective, heal from any damage they've caused, and recognize how much better your life flows without their chaos. These opportunities for distance are invitations to step back and evaluate the relationship with clear eyes. The beauty of God's removal process is that it's both gentle and thorough. He doesn't just yank people out of your life and leave you wondering why. He prepares you, protects you, and provides you with the discernment you need to recognize His hand at work. These first 4 signals are just the beginning of understanding how masterfully God guards your heart and your destiny. Signal number 5. God shifts your priorities and desires. One of the most profound ways God removes toxic people is by changing your heart toward them. Things that once excited you about spending time with them suddenly feel empty. Conversations that used to energize you now feel draining. Activities you enjoyed together lose their appeal. This isn't you becoming cold or unloving. This is God realigning your desires with His will for your life. He's shifting your appetite away from what was feeding dysfunction and toward what will nourish your destiny. You might find yourself naturally choosing other activities, other friendships, other investments of your time. What feels like losing interest is actually gaining discernment. God is weaning you off what was never meant to sustain you. Signal number 6. Their problems become bigger than their presence. Toxic people often carry chaos like a cloud, but when God is removing them, that chaos becomes so obvious you can't ignore it anymore. Their drama starts to overshadow any positive contribution they make to your life. Every conversation becomes about their crisis. Every interaction requires you to be their counselor, their bank, or their emotional dumping ground. The relationship becomes so one-sided that even your compassionate heart begins to recognize the imbalance. This isn't you becoming selfish. This is God opening your eyes to see that some people take more than they give, drain more than they pour, and demand more than they deserve. When their problems consistently outweigh their presence, God is showing you that this connection has become more burden than blessing. Signal number 7. Your peace returns in their absence. Pay attention to how you feel when toxic people are away from you. Do you breathe easier? Does your mind feel clearer? Does your joy return faster? This is God giving you a taste of life without their influence. He's showing you what your emotional and spiritual baseline can be when you're not constantly managing their energy. The contrast becomes undeniable. When they're present, you feel heavy, anxious, or emotionally exhausted. When they're absent, you feel lighter, more centered, more like yourself. This isn't coincidence. This is confirmation. God is demonstrating through your own experience that their removal isn't loss, it's liberation. He's letting you feel the difference so you won't doubt His decision to create distance. Signal number 8. New people and opportunities appear. Perhaps the most beautiful signal of God's removal process is how He replaces what He takes away. Just as toxic people begin to fade from your life, notice how new faces begin to appear. Healthier relationships start to develop. Opportunities that align with your calling present themselves. Doors that were blocked suddenly open. This isn't random timing. This is divine orchestration. God doesn't just remove what's harmful. He provides what's helpful. He doesn't just close one chapter, He opens a better one. The new people He brings won't drain your energy, they'll multiply it. The new opportunities won't compromise your values, they'll confirm them. When you see this pattern, you'll know that God wasn't taking anything from you, He was making room for something greater. Understanding these 8 signals changes everything about how you view the departures in your life. Those unexplained endings weren't rejections, they were redirections. Those sudden silences weren't punishments, they were protections. Those relationships that faded weren't failures, they were filtered out by a God who sees your future and refuses to let your past poison it. So the next time someone walks out of your life without explanation, before you chase them or question your worth, pause and ask yourself this question. Could this be God's protection disguised as rejection? Could this silence be heaven's way of saying, you deserve better? Because, beloved, when God removes toxic people from your life, He's not taking anything away from you. He's clearing the path for everything He has planned for you. Your tears over their departure are watering the ground for new relationships to grow. Your confusion about their absence is making space for clarity about your future. And your loneliness in their silence is preparing you to recognize the voice of those who truly belong in your story. Don't fight what God is filtering. Don't chase what heaven is changing. Don't mourn what was never meant to remain. Instead, trust the process. Thank Him for the protection, and watch expectantly for the beautiful replacements He's already preparing to send your way. Your destiny is too precious to be derailed by toxic connections. Your calling is too important to be contaminated by harmful influences. And your future is too bright to be shadowed by people who were never meant to walk in your light. If this message opened your eyes to God's hand in your relationships, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Like and subscribe because your breakthrough might be someone else's blessing. God bless you.